True crime thrives on distance. We listen to horrific stories precisely because they feel perfectly contained inside our speakers. For a 2-hour commute through dense, isolated backroads, it's a way to keep the dark at bay. The host is usually a comforting anchor. In my favorite podcast, Cold Case Files, Marcus provided a soothing baritone that made even a list of evidence sound like a fireside chat. I hit play on episode 104. Marcus's booming intro promised a deep dive into a local disappearance. I passed the halfway mark of the episode just as the last bits of daylight faded from the trees. It is strange to be alone in the woods, listening to a disappearance story, and feel secure. We trust the recording to stay in the past. About 45 minutes in, the cell service cut out entirely. It's a dead zone I hit every week, where the map goes dark and the outside world disappears. The downloaded audio kept playing, but Marcus's voice began to warp. The studio resonance stripped away, replaced by a metallic crackle that sounded like an old telephone line. That was the first crack in the experience. The audio no longer felt like a polished recording from a studio. It felt like a live transmission occurring right in the cabin. The glitching worsened as Marcus described the victim's final known movements. On the dashboard, the podcast timestamp froze at 45 minutes and 12 seconds, but the voice continued to play. Marcus described the car with sharp clarity. A dark blue Honda Civic, license plate starting with JKL. I drive a dark blue Civic with those exact letters on the plate. My first instinct was a nervous laugh, the kind of rationalization you dismiss an impossibly creepy coincidence with. I reached over to kill the audio. I hit pause, but nothing happened. I tried spinning the volume dial all the way down, but the voice stayed at the exact same loud, steady level, filling the car. I lost control of the electronics. Marcus pivoted from a cold case to narrating my drive in real time. Marcus's breathless voice predicted the driver had exactly 12 minutes left before an encounter on Route 9. I was on Route 9. I slammed the brakes and swerved onto the dirt shoulder, determined to force quit the app and get out. I held down the power button on my phone until the screen went black, but the audio didn't stop. It moved from the phone to the car's main speakers, sounding crisper than it had the entire drive. The victim pulled over, Marcus said calmly. They isolated themselves in the dark. A fatal mistake. I reached for the ignition to kill the engine, but a loud mechanical clack echoed. All 4 door locks snapped down at once. I threw my weight against the door and beat on the glass. The windows were immovable. My screams were completely drowned out by the steady, professional tone of the narration. The road had vanished, leaving only the locked interior of the Civic. I was trapped inside the very story I had used to pass the time. Marcus explained that the locks had been disabled remotely. He whispered that the victim had been unaware of a passenger hiding in the car the entire time. I turned my head. I stared into the dark reflection of the back seat, expecting a face. The seat was empty. There was nothing there but shadows. I let out a jagged, shuddering breath, feeling my heart slow down for a single, precious second. The audio changed. The broadcast resonance was gone, replaced by a raw whisper sounding inches from my ear. They looked in the back, Marcus said. They felt relief, because they didn't realize I wasn't in the back. That brief second of relief was a setup. Marcus let me see the empty seat just to make the physical reality of what came next feel absolute.